You want to sit up here? Want to sit up here?
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, cross your legs. Yes, there you go.
Put your hands like this.
She thinks crossing the legs is funny.
Okay, I think we're safe with the filming, so.
Alright.
Alright. Well, thank you guys for coming, and I see you brought the chief songwriter here.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is Betty Williams, chief songwriter.
How's it going, Betty? How's the road life treating you?
She's a road dog.
No, she's hanging with us today. She's a trooper.
Do you play any music, Betty? Okay. Now you guys have to react the same way when I ask you a question.
Yeah.
You'll be like, ah! You have a new album out? No. Well, let's talk about the new album, because your debut is so well received and awesome and all that good stuff. So does that actually intensify the pressure when you're going in for a second album? Like, as opposed to, like, you know, if you threw up a brick the first time out.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like a different pressure, I guess, going there.
I think when we definitely, I remember in the van like a year ago when we started thinking about making the second album, we were all like, oh yeah, there's that sophomore album thing that happens.
Yeah.
And maybe we should worry about that. And I think we made a decision together that we just like wanted to try our best to push that fear away and just make something else out of nothing.
Yeah,
just like
write
start
as
at
many
square
songs.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just have fun and do work.
We're not going to intentionally get worse. Intentionally.
Or better.
No, I think there is a difference of reception. When you're a new band, I think the discovery is even more exciting. Cause it's
Right.
like, if you have a debut that people really like, people want to get behind it. And I think a second record, people are a little bit already kind of like, show me what you got. So I think we expected a little bit of that in the reception, but for us, I mean, we're really just proud of this record. I love this record.
Yeah. We got to take a month off this summer and work in an old dilapidated church that had been turned into a studio up in Woodstock, close to Woodstock. And spent 10 days there and just singing. The vocals are all live. Us standing around in a circle in this church, and it's beautiful. Then we brought it back to Brooklyn. So it was a month of just being able to focus on like bringing 40 songs down to 20, and then just trying to make the best record. And then the artwork was part of that too.
Yeah, because the first record we made, we had to take time off from our day jobs, so
Yeah.
it was kind of like, 3 days, and we made it. We did the basic tracks in Rockwood Music Hall in the city, and then spent maybe a week in Nashville doing overdubs and stuff. But this one we just have way more time, so I think we feel really, really good about this record.
And you took like the music to a whole new level too, I feel like. You know, your voices are your voices, which are incredible, but I feel like nothing's gonna overmatch your voices, by the way. I mean, it's just ridiculous how it all gels, and people can read your bio, how you know, I'm singing one day, and then they are, and then wow, it sounds great together. But were you trying to up your game, like with the I guess the musicality or whatever you want to say?
I really think, I mean, the studio that we did it in is this dilapidated old church in Woodstock, New York called Dreamland.
Right.
It's been there since the 60s, and we just had the time to have some fun and just explore the sounds and the rooms and mic the amps in whatever ways we wanted to, and we spent a lot of time just like figuring out what sounds is this melody asking for, and it was a fun experience. Of course, editing then is a big job.
Yeah.
Because you gotta strip it down to what it actually needs. But working with Aaron Dessner, it was a real joy. It really was. I mean, we worked in the old church, and we lived in our buddy's cabin just up the mountain up in Tannersville, New York, which is the same cabin that we like made some videos in, like this video for a song called "You Never Need Nobody," where we're like sitting around a fireplace. It's inside our buddy's old cabin. So we were able to just completely live in this alternate reality for a little while and explore these songs.
How long were you living with the songs before you actually, like, did you...
Record them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you wrote them on the road, right?
Yeah.
And then, how long were you, well, I guess that's a silly question because you were actually writing them on the road, but I mean, did any of the songs that made it to this record, did they live before?
Well, some of them, I mean, we were headlining after the summer of our like, so we were playing 90-minute sets.
We had a 45-minute record and a 90-minute set.
So we had to like find songs.
You didn't do like, you should do...
Some of them were like those first songs we brought to the table, and then, you know, we had to stop doing the 20 minutes of 90s R&B just so, you know, we had to figure out actual songs.
We'll never stop it completely.
No, we're not completely.
Doing a lot of heavy D.
But there's a song called Heaven Don't Call Me Home. That's an older song of Brian's that we kind of revisited and made a Lone Bellow song, and a couple other songs that had lived in some capacity before that we edited and changed. And then some we wrote like basically in the studio, but most were like the period of touring, just right before recording.
Yeah.
About a year of writing.
I can totally tell, like, it's totally collaborative. There's not like a... Like with you guys, there's no weak link at all. I could totally tell, like, each of you brings your little... Throw someone under the bus now if you want. I mean,
it's true.
Yeah, seriously. Just coasting this one. Yeah. By the way, I realize that every time I'm sticking my tongue out at her, I'm like, oh crap, I hope the band doesn't think I'm just like... So talk to me, I mean, you're on the road forever, probably in a little while. Obviously, you're doing festivals and stuff, but you just did Letterman. I know you've done Leno, but this is Letterman's last year, and I mean, that probably takes on a whole different level, right?
It did. You could feel it in the studio, and it was just such an honor, especially like before you do the taping and you get there early in the morning and you meet all the guys, and it's all the same guys that have been with them for 20 plus years, and it was just this camaraderie that lived there. It was an honor. I felt like we played Leno, and then he retired, and we played Letterman and he's retiring, and we played Ferguson and he retired.
Seriously, listen, hold on a second, because we were talking about this. We were talking about this off camera. Like, am I gonna like walk upstairs and get fired? Because like you seem to have it like, don't go on Conan. He's been through enough.
We've already been on
Conan. He's the very first guy that had.
Was that with him on the Tonight Show though? And then he got booted.
No. It was on his new show.
Did you play Arsenio last year?
After they announced they're retiring, then they invite us on. Maybe because they have nothing to lose.
It's like we did Leno and then he left. We did Letterman and then he left. We did Ferguson and he left. Who else?
Did you do the Colbert Report real quick?
Yeah?
Like right
you should squeeze them. And anyone else leaving? No, I'm just kidding. But so what's the vibe that you're getting, you know, from your fan base? I know you've probably only done a few shows, if that.
We've only done one show, full new record.
Okay.
And that was the night before last. We played with WFUV here in Houston, and we did it. It was cool because we played it at Rockwood Music Hall, which was like our home base for years and years when we only played New York. It was encouraging. It was really encouraging. I felt like the response was, I don't know, there was like a couple moments in there that I'll probably take with me for a long time. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is like, okay, I witnessed what happened with the first batch of songs, and I'm excited to see like what will happen with the second batch of songs. Just like with the kind of the handshake between music player and music listener, and what kind of nights will be created.
Yeah, we had people tell us they didn't miss the old songs, which was a huge relief.
We were like,
your old songs suck.
We played our album like entirety. We couldn't like pull one of like the cards like, oh, everybody's gonna like go crazy over this song.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. It was like, it's really, and it wasn't just like our friends like it used to be at Rockwood. It was a lot of people we didn't know, and they were in it with us. So I'm excited to take this record on the road and hear the stories of the people that listen to it. So.
Yeah. Who's knocking?
That's not the story.
Opportunity?
Yes.
Hopefully.
So when is she going solo? I'm just curious because I can
Yeah,
tell
well,
total diva.
She's got 2 sisters.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it'll be like
I am maybe like
I'm hoping for like a really weird competitive musical situation.
Like Oasis?
They all have separate bands and they hate each other.
I like it.
They show up at Christmas and they like all have really good cookies because they're real competitive against each other. Just kidding, Betty. Just kidding.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sounded
Yeah, thanks
awesome.
for having
That
us.
was real fun.
This room's never sounded better, so thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.